Welcome to Transform Your Mind, Body, and Spirit with Lisa Dwoskin. Lisa has been a fitness professional for the past 20 years, as well as a fitness competitor. She's now a life coach and is ready to help educate and guide you with nutrition, exercise techniques, and positive mindset. You're invited to call in and ask Lisa any question about how you can jumpstart your very own transformation and become a better you. Call toll-free 1-800-889-0267. Visit her website at lisadwoskin.com or visit her on Facebook at BBL Fitness. Do you want to be healthier, happier, and live a longer and more fulfilled life? Then get ready to transform your mind, body, and spirit and to emerge a new you. Now here's Lisa.
Hi, thank you for joining us today, Transform Your Mind, Body, Spirit. I'm very happy to be here again. I would like to thank my sponsors first and foremost. OG Gems, which is my beautiful bracelet that I'm wearing. It's all about soothing and healing stones, which I love. It relaxes me and makes me more peaceful.
Did you find out about the Buddha?
She's looking for it. Okay, she's looking for it. She has a bracelet for you.
I don't want a bracelet.
But I know she doesn't have just a gem, but we're working on it. Okay, next sponsor. That's Freddie in the background over there.
How you doing?
Next is my Soul products for health, for wellness, from Rain International. Thank you, Soul. And Russ Johnson, one of my sponsors. Lycopene Skincare, which is a great skin line, which I use, and my skin looks so beautiful, right, guys?
That's like absolutely.
Right, Freddie?
Absolutely.
And the next big sponsor that I have is Children's Medical Safety Instructions, and they're going to be on here next week talking about vaccines and how they can hurt children and cause autism, and I won't get into that too much. I'll let her get into it. And also Grand Palms Country Club Golf Resort, where I used to have my gym with my ex-husband who's sitting over here, but we'll bring him on in a minute. Freddie, you went to Grand Palms. Talk about it. What'd you think?
I thought it was a fantastic place. I hear you're going to be doing some seminars there in the future.
Yeah.
Real nice. How's the food? We didn't get any food.
Well, Matt'll answer that.
Is it good?
No, they've had so many different restaurants in there, so I'm not even sure what's there.
I'm going to put an application in.
Yeah, I haven't eaten there in probably,
eaten there?
5 years.
Very nice place.
No, but it's very upscale,
Yeah, the restaurant
I'm sure.
food tastes, it's first-class food. And definitely the golf is by far one of the best in the state.
Yeah, the golf is the best, and the gym that was there was the best.
You used to own that gym.
Yeah, Matt and
It's huge, that place. You know, it's funny. They have 27 holes of golf. I've never seen that before. Why would you have 27?
They use 3 different 9 holes. So, depending on, if you're going out for an 18 hole for the day, a lot of people, they go back on the 18th and go eat some lunch. But it's, it's open to the public, so it's not just closed. So you got people who are members of the place, and it's open.
And it's funny, I've never played golf in my life, and we lived on that golf course. Matt would drive us around, and of course I would drink my little glass of wine. Only one.
You would drinking when everybody else was playing golf. Gotcha.
Yeah, everyone would play golf. But anyway, Grand Palms is a great resort. So before we jump into the show, I am so excited to talk about a new sponsor. Freddie, did you see my post about my photo shoot that's coming up?
Yes.
I am super excited.
When are you
what
doing that?
woman does not want to dress up in a $5,000 to $10,000 gown?
You get to keep it?
And I don't know. We'll talk about it.
Negotiate.
Let's
If
see.
you don't get to keep it, it was a nice memory.
Yeah, but let's see how much promotions we could do for him.
When are you gonna
April 16th, I have a top stylist, which is Franovic Designs, and I hope I'm
Franovic's design.
Franovic, right? It's a company where they have high fashion, and Victor is a friend of mine who has the couture is what they call it. So they're gonna have a top makeup artist, a top photographer for me, hair, makeup. It's going to be unbelievable.
Where's the shoot going to take place?
I'm not sure. It's top
Is it going to be
secret.
open or closed?
I don't know, but you think I'm going to let anyone watch? I'm going to be a nervous wreck.
Why? I wanted to go down there. I was going to bring 50 people with me.
I just lost my thing.
I was going to bring 50 people with me.
No way. I got to be alone, meditate. No, but I'm super excited about that. So he's our new sponsor. We'll be talking about him next
Excellent.
week. And
Excellent.
we'll put his
Yeah,
commercial on.
Well-known gentleman.
Yeah. Oh, you know?
Oh, absolutely. I know
Oh,
his
I
work.
didn't know you know him.
yeah.
Oh, he's awesome.
I know some things.
Yeah, you do.
Not a lot of things, but some things.
Just a few things, right?
He's good, though. He's excellent.
Oh, he's
Excellent
awesome.
photographer.
I can't wait.
You should have fun with that.
Yeah,
Tell
I'm
them
so
to let you keep the
excited.
dress.
He told me no
We'll
more
sell it.
bikini pictures. You need like really nice,
He's absolutely right.
very classy,
That's
elegant
right.
gowns.
There's something
so-
between the ears, as they say.
Yeah, exactly, right? I got to show off a little bit more than my
That's right.
gorgeous
enough of that,
body
enough
now.
Of that, enough of that nasty
Just
stuff.
kidding. I'm not an egotistical person at all. But I do work very hard
Yes,
for
he does.
my
The hardest
body.
working woman I know.
Matt's going to talk about that too later, about his body and his bodybuilding and everything he does. So let's jump into the show.
Okay.
Today is about divorce with my ex-husband, Matthew Itera, and we're going to be talking about co-parenting and how important it is to be civil with each other and how to help the kids get through it in a much better way. And it's really, really horrible how many people out there just pull their kids through the ringer when they get divorced.
Right.
So here with me is my ex-husband, who I owe everything to because he gave me two beautiful kids. And he's really like
He
my,
did it all by himself.
Yeah.
Way to go. Way to go, man.
His sperm helped out. We're not going to go there. We got Erica over here we're always kidding around with. But anyway, Matthew gave me two kids, Blake and Ashley, which we love and adore. And Matt and I are really good friends, and we're going to talk about how we helped each other help the kids get through our divorce. So go ahead, take over.
Which is a transformation in itself, right?
For sure.
Because it's not, I mean, I've been divorced twice, yeah, and you were going to mention it, I know. But
yeah, I didn't want to.
sometimes having your kids, you know, and that whole involvement, and you have an attorney here who's going to talk about it in a little while as well.
Yeah.
It's not easy. And we're about to find, and this guy's a very colorful guy. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's nice to see that the two of you could share a room. And I was a little worried about this segment
No,
today,
no.
to be honest with you, because this is not an everyday occurrence. So this is pretty unusual in itself to
Right.
begin with.
And we went to counseling when we went through the whole divorce, and we brought the kids to counseling, and the psychologist or the family counselor would look at us like, this is not normal at all, because you guys get along too good, but we're really better as friends than we were as husband and wife. We don't really understand why, but it worked that way. Anyway, Matt is a fitness expert, personal trainer, also a bit of a life coach too. But he's a marketing consultant, a genius on the computer, really. He does all my marketing, which, by the way, Freddie, he gave me a link, and it is, when you go to my website, lisadwoskin.com, LISADWOSKIN.com.
That's for me because I always spelled that bad. But go ahead.
Right, / or / whatever, there's a / radio. So now people, when they go to my link, they can find the radio.
They can find the show because a lot of people complain they couldn't find the show.
Right, because they'd have to click on blog, and we didn't know that, so I didn't tell them. Okay, Matthew Itera, take over. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you, Lisa.
Everything good with you today?
Everything's perfect.
So,
Thank you for having me on the show, by the way.
thank you for coming. So anyway, okay, talk a little bit about what you do.
I'm in the fitness arena. I've been in the fitness arena for, too many years to mention, but it's going to be over 20 years. And since being in the fitness arena, I've seen the market take different turns. And while we had our business, we were introduced with the M-Kids program. And in the M-Kids program, we started doing fitness for obesity on kids. And from that program, I started doing research on internet marketing and started bringing our ideas online. And from that standpoint, Lisa, I fell in love with the industry. And instead of doing, things from home as a trainer and helping just one-on-one or even a small group, you can go out and help the masses. So that's what I do right now.
And I just want to interject, M-Kids, Freddie, are you listening over here? I'm teasing. He's always over there doing his work. M-Kids, I'm glad you brought that up, was a program that Matt and I started with obesity for children. And back then it was like 1 out of every 6 kid was obese. Now I think it's like 1 out of every 4. And so we got all the Shaquille O'Neal kids because Shaquille O'Neal had a reality show. Did you ever see
I
that?
never saw that.
Yeah, he transformed obese kids. I think there were 6, right?
I think if we go back and there were 6 kids, and the show is also on YouTube. So if you Google Shaq's Biggest Challenge, it is on YouTube. All the past episodes, kind of get the background on the information.
Yeah.
But we also worked with Governor Chris on this too,
Right.
to bring it across the state of Florida.
Yeah, we got the kids. We contacted all the kids from the Shaquille O'Neal show. They came to work for us at the gym, and they helped
How
us
long ago was
transform
this?
other kids. What, like 15 years ago about?
So he was still playing?
It was, it wasn't even that long ago. If you go back in the past, it was probably about 10 years ago,
10
right when
years,
our
maybe.
daughter was born, Ashley.
Okay, so 10 and a half years ago. No, I don't think he wasn't playing basketball anymore. Shaquille,
He was
no?
he was still with
Lakers?
finishing up his season with Miami, believe it or
Miami.
not. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, we got the kids. We started a program. We had like 50 to 100 kids 3 times a week come after school. And then we took the 6 kids that were on the Shaquille O'Neal show, and they would be like our coaches underneath us. And we would teach the kids how to eat, how to exercise, and most importantly, what I did was talk to the kids about their mental states.
Right.
Since I have a degree in psychology, I can't really practice because I have a bachelor's degree, but I would help guide them and try to figure out why they were obese. And usually a lot of them were so unhappy about something that relates with what we're talking about with their parents or their childhood. So we really transformed like over 100
We
kids'
had
lives.
so many successful children that we changed, and I think that's what made the program successful. The only burdens that we ran into was with the state of Florida,
Yeah.
approving it in the school systems, because they didn't want it to be anything for profit. And when you're doing anything with the government, it's hard to go past those rules.
Because we were trying to change the food that they serve in the schools. Because why are kids obese? The food is disgusting in our school system.
So
And
you
they-
were beating up on the school lunches?
Yeah,
and stuff?
we were going, and we were with the governor, and we had those 2 guys, Frank and Brian, who were both principals. Well, now they're principals of
and
school.
coaches, yeah.
Coaches, and they were, I was on a mission, and I was like full force ahead, but there's so many barriers and so many walls with that. It was crazy. But what touched our hearts was working with the kids. And now with our children, how are we with their fitness level, nutrition?
We definitely instill into our kids that we work on those type of levels so important. I mean, our kids grew up on eating healthy, and at the same time, exercise was important and making exercise fun. And I think that's really the importance of like any fitness program for adults and for children, is making it enjoyable.
And I love Matt had the best punishment, because we're going to get deep into our children, but our son was affected very much from our divorce. And he really started lashing out, breaking things in the house, going a little ballistic because he missed his dad. And I'm going to let him talk because, of course, I'll get emotional about it. But anyway, Matt had the best punishment. He would make Blake when Blake would do bad things, you'd make him do push-ups and sit-ups. And it was awesome because he would do it. But go ahead, talk about that.
I think indirectly, kids don't understand why we do things as adults. Sometimes it can do harm, and sometimes it can do it as a benefit. And for me, when I, would discipline my son, and including my daughter, instead of doing what traditional parents do, is either scolding them or hitting them, I decided to, to get to the form of, I'm going to make you exercise. And the reason why I'm going to make you exercise is because now you're not going to understand it, but in the future, you're going to be stronger, faster, especially if you have that athletic background. And so for me, the kids didn't take it as like, oh, daddy's punishing me and he's being mean. They took it on as a challenge, and they would do 10 push-ups. And even though at that age, I know what proper form was and how not to injure their muscles, because that's a big thing. And that's, I think, a whole new episode for the show.
Yeah.
But, they definitely, to today, I mean, this is the way I still do the disciplining. And, I really don't have to do anything for my kids as far as disciplining. I mean, they behave on that part.
It's funny. Did you saw the show that when I had the kids on the show? So one of the questions was, who's stricter, who's meaner? And of course they both said you. I was the nice one.
That sounds
but,
like a setup.
no, he was good. Well, I would get a little upset sometimes, but
Well,
let's.
I got a question for
Okay.
you. When you were dealing with the kids and the obese, the program, Did you meet also with the parents? Were they part of this transformation?
Absolutely.
Also? Because I could see one side. How did it
Some.
affect the other side?
I mean, for us, what we did was we would meet one-on-one with the children, and especially Lisa would meet with the children because she handled the kids well. And then we'd meet directly with the parents and explain to them that, you know, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And so whatever they instill into their house, you know, it pacifies and goes on to the kids. And I think that's really what happened. You know, parents don't understand their choices of they eat whatever they want and they give it to their kids. And I think, you know, by getting into the parents, let them be more aware,
Right.
and open up the, you know, their brains to understand that, hey, I can be the cause and effect for what happens to my child and what happens in the future. Especially with, you know, kids being obese, a lot of them get bullied. And that's a big thing that, you know, school systems have cracked down on.
It's a good point.
Yeah, and you know, the thing is, we as parents bring kids into the world. They don't have a choice. We bring them into the world. So then, why is it when we have bad habits or we have things going on in our lives, we take it out on the kids? We don't, thank God. I mean, of course, we're not perfect people, but we have really put our kids first and foremost over anything. But there's so many people out there, so many parents, and I hope you guys listening, if you want to call in, 800-889-0267. Call us. We have a lawyer here who's going to be talking to us in a couple minutes. Talk to Matt and I, ask advice on how you could do better with your children. But we always put our kids first, and you parents out there that are listening who are going through hardships and hate the other parent and whatever it is you're going through, don't take it out on your innocent children because it's not their fault. So Matt, in the car, I was asking you, why do you think it works so well with us, with our kids?
I think the one thing that you and I looked at, we put our children first. And
Right.
that was the biggest thing that separated us from, I think, a lot of people that are out there. They think about themselves being selfish instead of thinking about their kids and how their feelings can be affected. And, you know, even though kids won't show it on the conscious level, subconsciously, these things can, you know, scar them for the future.
For sure. And I know that throughout our whole divorce, you never got mad at me, not once. And I was the perfect angel, of course, since I'm always perfect. So how did you hold your anger in, like when you wanted to...
I think, you know, I mean, you know...
When I would nag and... I'm not allowed to say the B word, but when I would nag and drive you crazy, and because I know I was overbearing and ultra protective of the kids, and I would drive you insane. But how would you not lash out at me or in front of them?
I think, you know how I am about doing research and understanding ourselves on personal development. And I think 3 things stood out. Number 1, there was the movie Fireproof. Number 2 was the book called, you know, Love and Respect. And number 3, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. And if you do those 3 things and really listen to what's in those, you kind of get a better understanding of why you lash out and what you can do. Like in the book of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, men like to go into a cave. So for me, I like to take a break. If it's a couple hours, take a break and cool down instead of lash out. Because a lot of times you lash out, you end up hurting that other person's feeling.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, I could be lashing out on you, and the kids might be on the other side of the house, but they have ears of
Yeah.
a kid. You know, while we get old, we're going to be losing our hearing. So, you know, we don't understand that they hear every little thing. And I think that's a big thing, the impact that how I looked at it. And, you know, by, you know, looking at those 3 things that I just mentioned, that's what helped change me as a better person, as even who I am today, you know.
And you know what's funny, Freddie, our
We're
kids...
going to take a heart break?
Yeah, and can I do 30 seconds?
Yes. Go ahead. Just
Our
keep your
kids,
mind.
we don't swear in front of our kids at all. So we would think they wouldn't hear when we would argue back then when we had 4 separations. And the kids always say to me, Mommy, I heard you say the F word one time. I never heard Daddy say it, but I heard you say it, remember?
Yeah.
So anyway, okay, we got to take a break. We're going to get back talking about the same subject with divorce, co-parenting, and we're going to bring in Erica, the lawyer, to talk about
The lawyer.
the lawyer, the friendly lawyer, the happy lawyer, to talk
Give
and
out
give
the
us,
number so they can all call.
Yeah,
the
give
lawyer.
us a call to call the lawyer, 800-889-0267. We'll be right back. Thank you.
If you're a golfer or just someone who wants the best hotel stay in South Florida, your wish has been answered. Introducing the Grand Palms Hotel Spa and Golf Resort. The Grand Palms Hotel Spa and Golf Resort, located in beautiful South Florida, gives everyone the opportunity to enjoy peace, beauty, and tranquility. 137 comfortable rooms and suites located on a 27-hole golf course with all the amenities that you'd expect of a first-class golf facility. A professional golf pro shop, excellent restaurant equipped with a full-service bar, and a staff that is ready to cater to your every whim.
The Grand Palms Hotel Spa and Golf Resort is paradise waiting for you. The Grand Palms is truly a golfer's paradise. The golf course surrounded by luxurious homes and the most exquisite landscaping in the area. You might even catch a glimpse of some celebrity golfers swinging their golf clubs. Whether you're an avid golfer or just coming to the area for business or relaxation, you won't find a more comprehensive resort experience for the value. Located minutes from South Florida's famed beaches and some of the best shopping in the country, there's something for everyone at the Grand Palms Spa and Golf Resort.
If you're looking to book a wedding, party, or speaking engagements, this is the place for you. Grand Palms Catering is the best in town, with gorgeous and spacious garden rooms and clubhouses overlooking the golf course. Grand Palms is the best kept secret in Pembroke Pines. Call today, 954-431-8800, and book your reservation to one of the most beautiful golf resorts in Florida. 954-431-8800 is the number you need to enjoy a touch of paradise for your getaway. A traditional family business in the gems business is hard to find in today's fast corporate world. Handmade and creative stones from every part of the world have made OG Gems a specialty in our community. They use jewelry to express their fashion and personality traits, and now they share their long family tradition with you. Visit their website, oggems.com, and see the jewelry they have to offer. Making people feel happy, confident, and beautiful is their goal, and each piece is handmade to enhance your personality. They use high-quality gemstones and components to create each exclusive piece. Visit oggems.com and find out why they are the best at what they do. They can arrange jewelry parties right in your own home, too, so contact them for more details. OG Gems, the true path to perfect, creative jewelry with a special custom match to your personality. According to the CDC and the FDA, after receiving the HPV vaccine, thousands of young women have reported convulsions, crippling fatigue, paralysis, blindness, and other severe reactions.
In 2013, one of the developers of the HPV vaccine admitted on air that more than 70 young girls were known to have died after being vaccinated.
Recently, the American Academy of Pediatricians issued a warning about the HPV vaccine, Gardasil, causing premature menopause and ovarian failure in young women.
In 2013, Japan became the first country to withdraw its recommendation for the HPV vaccine.
Denmark now has 5 regional uptake facilities for girls who were healthy before they received HPV shots and are now exhibiting serious medical harm.
The makers of the HPV vaccine claim it protects against ovarian cancer from developing in 20 to 30 years, but the vaccine was approved after less than 5 years of testing.
It's okay to ask questions about vaccine safety. Learn more at cmsri.org, paid for by the Children's Medical Safety Research Institute.
You are transforming your mind, body, and spirit with fitness professional and life coach Lisa Dwoskin. You can call in at any time, toll free, 1-800-889-0267 to speak with Lisa. Now let's get back to this week's show.
Hi, we're back. So I'm going to bring right away Erica. I'm going to introduce Erica Brayton. Is that right?
It's Broughton, but you've always
I'm
mispronounced
sorry,
it. You've always done that.
But you've never told me that. You
Honey,
should
I
have
have,
told me. Okay.
Bless your heart.
And Eric is spelled with an A.
Yes,
I know.
A-R-I-C-A.
That I got.
This whole name thing with her is a little confusing.
Oh, I know, right? It's your fault. Anyway,
I agree.
she was a client of mine and a very good friend of mine and Matt's. And Matt and I both trained her at our gym. And she has a practice in Deerfield Beach. She does family law, divorce law, criminal law, too.
A little.
A little. She's an amazing woman, and she's here to give her expertise, input on divorce and co-parenting. So how are you, Erica?
I'm doing good, Miss Lisa. Thank you.
I love that shirt so much.
Well,
the
thank
blue is beautiful. Do you see my nail polish blue?
Oh, yeah, look at that.
I love blue.
Very nice.
You look very
Oh, thank
nice.
you.
So how's work going these days?
It's good. It's busy. which hey,
sure.
it's either feast or famine. So when it's feast, I'm happy camper.
And mainly you do divorce, would
I
you
would
say?
say 95% of my practice is family law.
Family law. Okay, so out of 10 families that you work with, how many of them do it right and put the kids first, and how many of them don't?
I would say in the 7 years that I've been practicing,
Yeah.
I maybe have a handful, maybe two, where the families, where the parents actually acted like parents instead of like litigants. So it's a rarity.
It's terrible.
It's a rarity.
Now, are they required to go to courses or?
Yes, if you get divorced in the state of Florida with minor children, you are required to attend a parenting class. It's 4 hours, and you get as much out of it as you put into it.
Did you go to that course?
You had to have.
Yeah.
My attorney advised me to plead the fifth.
Well, it's funny.
I'm not his attorney, just to be clear.
Freddie,
Answer you as attorney.
I asked her to be my attorney. She said no. He asked to be his attorney. She said no.
But
She
she's
wanted
a
to
friend
stay
with
out
both.
of
I
it.
was friends with both. That is a no-win situation. So
Yeah,
I
no,
referred
no.
them both to competent counsel, and I stayed out of it.
Yeah, but you did give us a lot of advice.
Absolutely.
I mean, I would call you about so many things, and then you would call her about things, and she would say she talked to you and probably tell you she talked to me, but she would never say what it was about or.
I was Switzerland in your divorce.
Yeah.
She gave like independent views because I know legally you couldn't represent but I also when you gave kind of like fill in the blanks type of thing like and coming away from that, I mean, I learned a lot during that process, not just for that but for a lot of different things that I've done through the court system for our businesses that we had and all that.
Yeah, and I could say about you, Erica, that there were so many times that I would call you and vent and cry and be so upset, and you always stayed neutral, and you would always say the same thing. Think of the kids. Think of Blake and Ashley. And really,
Absolutely.
because we're not perfect human beings. Matt, of course, you got mad at me. I got mad at you. People listening to the show are probably wondering, why are these two not together? Right, Freddie?
My attorney says to plead the fifth.
Yeah, but no, the truth
Not his
is,
attorney.
we're great friends, but we had so much stress with the business, with the children, we're alike, but we're so different. And really, people get upset, like, oh, you should be together, and oh, and no. Because it's much better. Even our children today are like, no, you guys, don't get back together. You're so much happier and healthier as friends and not together. But
Absolutely.
getting back to you, Erica, so thank you for everything that you did and helped us
I'm
with.
glad.
Now, what would you say, how do you guide the parents and how could you help them and help our callers who are going to call in 800-889-0267? How would you help the people to do it better, or what advice would you give them?
Normally, my first bit of advice is to keep the kids out of it. The children don't need to know about why you guys are getting divorced, the reasons behind it, what mommy's asking from daddy, what daddy wants from. The children don't need to know any of that. They obviously explain it to them in an age-appropriate way. What a divorce means. Why is it that perhaps you're not sharing the same bedroom? Why you're moving to separate places? But don't get them involved in the details. They don't need to know that. Kids live in their happy kid life. Don't get them involved in the adult world.
Yeah. And Matthew Itera, do you hear what she said? Remember, we used to debate a lot about this, and I do agree a little bit with what Matt would say. But there's a fine line, because I would say don't tell them certain things, and then remember you would say, well, they need to face reality of life, because I wanted to kind of keep it away from them that we were separated. We would call Matt every time we'd separate, which was 4 times. We'd say he's going to get his office and he has to work. And then I remember you would tell me, like, let's tell them the truth. So there's a fine line with, I know, keep them out of the bad stuff, but are they too young to understand everything? That's like, how did we do it? Did we finally tell them the truth after we divorced, right?
I think it was, I mean, even when we made our final split and we went our separate ways, we didn't, tell them what was going on. I mean, and I think that's the, breaking point, because during the time of our split ups, the saying was, Daddy's at his office working, and that's why he's got to work. And at the same time, I would bring up to you saying, like, I don't want the kids to think that, Daddy's choosing work over the family.
Yeah.
And, we did, the one thing I can say, like, during that time period, because I remember there was times, like, even during Christmas, where, you'd be sad because you weren't spending the day with them and all that. And we never once not gave them, like, 100% love.
Yeah.
And looked at their interest being their priority. So I think that's the biggest thing that we looked at was, like, how is this going to affect them today and tomorrow based on all of our choices that we make.
Yeah, I think we kind of played it by ear and gave them a little bit of whatever information they needed at the moment.
Well, you guys also were seeing a family therapist, too, who was in on
Yeah.
what was going on, that was able to give you guys guidance, direction. And your therapist was, haven't seen Ashley and Blake, too. So if the kids did have questions about why is Daddy working so much, Blake had somebody neutral that he could speak with and who could explain it to him in an age-appropriate way.
Now, wouldn't you say that would be the number one thing to tell our viewers and listeners, to get a therapist involved, a professional?
Absolutely.
That has to be a requirement, I would think.
Well, it's not a requirement
I
because
wish
not
it would
everybody,
be.
says they can afford it. But if you can afford an attorney, you can afford a therapist. Call around. A lot of therapists do. If you explain to them, listen, I'm on a fixed budget, they'll do sliding scales for you.
Yeah.
And if even that is not feasible, talk to the guidance counselor at school, because I guarantee you there is several children in school that are also going, children of divorce, and the guidance counselor may be able to give you books or information that that'll be useful for your family.
And that's such a huge point that she's bringing up, is that therapists do help so much. And I know I have a bachelor's in psychology, so maybe I was a little more into this, Matt could say. But I sent our kids, to the therapist at the school. And then we went to free counseling because the schools do provide the free counseling. And I remember the therapist saying to me one day that our daughter Ashley would tell her things she wouldn't tell us. And we were so close with her. I mean, you and Ashley are super close. Ashley and I are super close. But there were certain things she wouldn't tell us that she would tell the therapist. Mm-hmm. And kids need someone to talk to, because I remember, I think, saying to you or to my mom, oh, they don't know everything that's going on, and they're not going to be that affected, and they know
You'd be amazed.
100,000 times more than what we thought. And I remember Ashley telling me she loved going to talk to the therapist because it helped her so much. So that's, I wish more parents would do that.
Kids can pick up too. They can feel if you're sad, if you're not talking as much. Even if you close the door and you go and weep, the children know that. So they're picking up on things, and maybe they don't feel comfortable They don't want to talk to you because it's going to upset mom or it's going to make dad mad. If they've got a neutral person that'll listen to them and it's a safe spot, by all means, go for it.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I had a question for the attorney.
yeah, go for it.
It's still a business.
Absolutely.
And you have to represent your side. They have to represent his side.
Yeah.
Florida, the children usually tend to go towards the mother in Florida, from my understanding.
Well, no, actually, that's there's no preference between mom or dad in the state of Florida.
Okay.
The way time sharing works,
Not time sharing. I know the time sharing should be 50-50, but the child has to be situated either in mom's care or in dad's care, correct?
Well, no, but you could have. Now what the trend is towards equal time sharing. So that means that nobody gets a trump card. Nobody gets to say, "Well, that's my kid. I'm the primary custodian." No, you guys are equal parents. Mom doesn't trump dad. Dad doesn't trump mom. The time sharing aspect is just where the kid's going to go on what day. And the other part of being a parent is parental responsibility, making major decisions about the child's life, education, religious upbringing, healthcare. And again, I would say probably 99 out of 100, it's going to be shared. And that means that dad can't make a decision, mom can't make a decision. If, say for instance, Ashley wants a rhinoplasty at 17, you guys would have to talk and agree, discuss it. Should Ashley have? And if you guys agree, then you move forward. If not, unfortunately, you'll have to go back to the courthouse. But
isn't there an act now, a Fathers Act, against something that they have to protect the fathers?
There is again something going through the legislature this year. It's about, and they're asking for a 50-50.
Wait, excuse me, is Matt grabbing your leg under the
He's
table?
giving me grief, bless his heart. I
it's-
appreciate that, though. You're making me laugh.
But she's about to make a very good
No,
point.
no, go ahead.
No, there is legislature going through the state right now. They're looking for a presumption of 50-50 time sharing
That's
for
right.
family. And but I will say that the family section of the Florida bar is against that. I too don't feel that there should be a presumption of 50-50 time sharing because all families are different. So kind of a one size fits all, I don't think is what's
I
best
agree for sure.
You never know. Just what happens. Reality is one parent may work more. Some people, you have children, but maybe aren't really cut out to have the majority of time with the kids. So I don't think it should be a one size fits all. It shouldn't be a presumption.
But when I got divorced, though, it was different. And she got
I can
kids.
imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
But my point was going to be is whether it's Matt that gets the kids or Lisa that gets the kids, the child is in the care of a parent and living in that house. And though you have 50-50, that's a great number. I think that the parent that has the child in their house has a bigger responsibility because you have to play Switzerland and say,
Absolutely.
Mom, and if it's dad, dad's a good guy and yada, yada, yada. But that's not the psychology all the time. So what they're putting in front is evidence that has been proven in the past that though it's supposed to be 50-50, when you live in the house, and it's a business, you guys are friends. This is amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't get that luxury in my life. It's a business, and your attorney has to represent you, and it gets really, really hostile. So when your kids are 20 and 25 years old, and they come up to you and say, Dad, what was going on? I mean, these are my kids now at that age asking me, because there's three sides to the truth.
Yeah.
Your story, and the truth. And you got to find the truth.
Yeah.
And it's not about putting anybody down, but I think that the parent that has the child has the bigger responsibility. So I just wanted to bring that point up.
No,
and
absolutely.
with the legislator to
They should. I mean, one of the factors that what a court would look at is which parent is going to nurture and foster a good relationship with the other parent.
Yeah.
And that's one of those. That's definitely something that you should encourage. I mean, if one parent does have the majority of time with the kids, hey, Daddy's coming by. You guys are going to go have dinner. Encourage the.
Well,
child
like
to
with
work.
us, we're both loving, nurturing parents, but I have the luxury that I only have to work until they get out of school. Then I get to give all my undivided attention to the kids, where you're working like 5 different jobs, your choice, but of course you want to do it. So it would be hard if you had them the majority of the time. But what's so cool is you'll take them when I need you to take them. I'll take them when we really do have an unusual
You
situation.
do. I mean, your kids are in the studio today.
Yeah, and it's great. Yeah, and you know what? We spend holidays together. When I was dating the crazy Buddha, he spent Thanksgiving with us dancing around, and Matt was there. And then when Matt has someone, he'll bring her, and all. I think it's great, and I think everybody out there listening to us, do it. It works. I mean, why did you bring kids into this world? To hurt them? To put them through whatever selfishness that you're going to go through? No. Think of the children first.
We got to remember too that you're divorcing your spouse.
Right.
But that doesn't mean you're done and over with them. You're going to see that other person
Forever.
at birthdays, graduations, weddings, the birth of your grandchildren. So try to go through your divorce with dignity and civility so that you can actually look over at your spouse at these special occasions and have a relationship with them.
And let me tell you, and you could vouch for this, we're not going to get into this, but we went through a lot. You and I, Matt. I mean, people wouldn't even believe. You despised me at one point. I despised you at one point. We were at each other's throats. I mean, we went through a lot to get to the point that we are now. And I think, I mean, go ahead, you talk, but I think it's the respect, but it's also those 2 beautiful kids. We always put them first.
Well, I think, this kind of goes back to wisdom. I mean, over the years we've worked with so many different age people, and I work with people that are even up to the age of 8 in their 90s right now. And all the years that I've known you, Lisa, you always asked that question. It was like, what kept your marriage together?
No, wait. Hold that thought. What kept our marriage together? We got to take a break, and we're coming right back to that. Thank you.
If you're a golfer or just someone who wants the best hotel stay in South Florida, your wish has been answered. Introducing the Grand Palms Hotel Spa and Golf Resort. The Grand Palms Hotel Spa and Golf Resort, located in beautiful South Florida, gives everyone the opportunity to enjoy peace, beauty, and tranquility. 137 comfortable rooms and suites located on a 27-hole golf course with all the amenities that you'd expect of a first-class golf facility. A professional golf pro shop, excellent restaurant equipped with a full-service bar, and a staff that is ready to cater to your every whim.
The Grand Palms Hotel Spa and Golf Resort is paradise waiting for you. The Grand Palms is truly a golfer's paradise. The golf course surrounded by luxurious homes and the most exquisite landscaping in the area. You might even catch a glimpse of some celebrity golfers swinging their golf clubs. Whether you're an avid golfer or just coming to the area for business or relaxation, you won't find a more comprehensive resort experience for the value. Located minutes from South Florida's famed beaches and some of the best shopping in the country, there's something for everyone at the Grand Palms Spa and Golf Resort.
If you're looking to book a wedding, party, or speaking engagements, this is the place for you. Grand Palms Catering is the best in town, with gorgeous and spacious garden rooms and clubhouses overlooking the golf course. Grand Palms is the best kept secret in Pembroke Pines. Call today, 954-431-8800, and book your reservation to one of the most beautiful golf resorts in Florida. 954-431-8800 is the number you need to enjoy a touch of paradise for your getaway.
Hi, my name is Lisa Dwoskin, and you can purchase my book, Metamorphosize, on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, or on my very own website, lisadwoskin.com. Metamorphosize is about the transformation within, the journey from the caterpillar to a beautiful butterfly. This book is a memoir of my personal journey of becoming spiritually enlightened and emerging into my new true self. In it, I discuss many challenges and losses that I have faced and worked through along the way. Challenges that have helped me to grow into a better person. Life is filled with trials and tribulations. How we handle these challenges molds us into the people that we become. In my book, I also will teach my readers how to help themselves and learn to become healthier and happier. My good friend Rocky Johnson and his son Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson both endorse the back cover of my book. Dwayne states, "All of my life I have been an athlete and believed in the balance of mind, body, and spirit. Without having all three in proper alignment, I would not have achieved what I have in my life. I often speak to everybody about maintaining a positive mindset, eating healthy, exercising, and balancing your life. I feel that Lisa's journey will help awaken the lives of many and inspire others to begin their own transformation. Her book is sensational and very uplifting. Thank you, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson." So look for my book, Metamorphosize, on Amazon.com, BarnesandNobles.com, or LisaDwoskin.com. Again, that's spelled Lisa, DWOSKIN.com. Are you ready to transform your life? Are you wanting to lose weight, become healthier, and feel happier? I am here to help you do just that. My name is Lisa Dwoskin. I'm a personal trainer and a life coach. I educate on transforming the mind, body, spirit from within. I want to teach you how to eat healthy, exercise daily, and feed your mind with positive thoughts. You can hire me one-on-one for coaching, personal training, or how to learn about nutritious foods and how they affect your body in a more positive way. Sign up for my free weekly newsletter at lisadwoskin.com, or you can find me on Facebook at Body by Lisa, or BBL Fitness is my Facebook page. I post daily tips on nutrition, fitness, and feeding your mind with positive thoughts. Don't wait for tomorrow to become healthier and happier. Do it today. My website again is lisadwoskin.com. That's DWOSKIN.com.
You are transforming your mind, body, and spirit with fitness professional and life coach Lisa Dwoskin. You can call in at any time, toll free, 1-800-889-0267 to speak with Lisa. Now let's get back to this week's show.
But her?
Hi, we're back.
You didn't tell
Freddie.
me we're on the air.
Okay, so we decided on the break that Matt's going to take over the show. So go ahead, Matt. Take over.
Well, to finish what I was saying before our sponsors break, the wisdom and advice that I got from a lot of people, and that you can concur on this too, is that we always ask what's the key to a happy marriage. One of the things I also would ask, is wisdom has advice, and your father actually taught me a lot of things and lessons in life. And one of the things he said is for the rest of your life you can either get along with that person or be enemies with that person, because no matter what, you two have something together that you form, which was a family. So taking that apart, that when you put it in your heart and you say, I can either be talking to this person with disrespect and hate, or I can show this person the love that I gave to him while you're together, but it's a different form of love.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we show our kids in the process, is that the way we act is the way you should act towards others.
And I love what you just said, because taking the show back to what this show is about, transforming your mind, body, spirit, it's all about self-love. And that's what I talk about on every show, is loving yourself, believing in yourself. And you and I have worked a lot on self-love and self-help books, and we're both growing so much. And I know you're into it too.
Absolutely.
Of course, Freddie is over here too. But I think that really is where it's all at. If the people that you work for, and if the people out there that are getting divorced, if you truly love yourself, you're not going to hate your significant other because it didn't work out. So what? It didn't work out. It's not his fault. It's not her fault. It's whatever fault both of you together couldn't make it work. Love yourself, be happy with yourself, and then you have no one to blame but yourself, and you can move on and take care of your kids. I think that you just hit on the biggest point right there, because I look at so many women, and I hate to say this, and you could vouch for this, but so many women are so angry at their exes, because they become so bitter and ugly and but why can't they just take whatever blame, walk away, and go be happy with themselves and meet someone else and fall in love? Like, come on.
But you can't move on, too, if you've got all that anger and hatred in your heart.
It's so true.
Let go of that so you can find somebody new, or, do
And
whatever
to
else your
let
life.
go of that, you need to buy the book, Metamorphosize. You can get it at lisadwoskin.com. That's DWOS. Freddie's over here laughing. He's training me well. DWOSKIN.com. But seriously, that's all I talk about in the book is mind, body, spirit. And my second book coming out is about the same thing, loving yourself. And if you don't love yourself, how could you love another? So it's so true. I love that.
And it's funny because life does continue after divorce, right? I mean, you guys
Of
are best friends.
course.
You guys show up. Your son is with you. You have an
Yeah.
attorney with you. I mean, you got the whole
Yeah.
bag of rocks going on here.
It is.
I'm really good friends with Linda's ex, her husband. I'm very good friends with the guy. I just met the guy. I think the guy is a sweetheart. He probably wasn't a sweetheart when they got divorced. I can understand that. Like I said, it's still a business. But nowadays, not a problem.
And that's how it should be. And of course there is going to be, like what Erica just said, the anger, the animosity. But to get rid of that, if you hold on to that anger, you're only hurting yourself.
Absolutely.
Do you want to elaborate on that a little bit? Anger, holding on to anger.
You have any anger?
Well,
He
Yes,
had
Matt, tell us about
major
your anger.
anger issues.
I think the biggest thing is that anytime you have a relationship and you go through what's considered, I have a favorite saying, you have your ups and then you have your downs. When you have your down is when you start to explode. And, some people hold it in, they kind of call it the garbage disposal. Eventually it's going to overload and just explode. And I think that's the point when you actually start exploding on the person that you're there with, which is your significant other. I think that's the part of in any relationship. It doesn't have to be verbal, it can also be physical. And I think that, a lot of marriages get to the point where they want to do the verbal or the physical, and it's at the point where you're not thinking of the person that you started that relationship and built a family with. Start off with love, and then, with growing, understand what's the best for that person who is your best friend. You don't have to be married to that person to be best friends. And I think that's the part that you lose in a divorce, is that you start off being good, but then at the end it's fighting over money, it's fighting over kids, it's fighting over, little things that at the end of the day, when you're old, gray, and wrinkled, it doesn't make a difference. You can't bring that with you to the promised land.
Yeah. And without getting too personal here, but since we did bring up the subject of anger, you went through a rough childhood and you had a ton of anger in you. When I met you, we worked through it because I was a little more patient, a little less angry. I mean, I did have my faults, of course, but what I can say, and the reason why I'm bringing this up, this is very important, especially for the men listening. You have come so far. I mean, it's like you're a totally different person. How did you get from besides reading my book, how did you get from point A to point B with your anger? Because it's like, you're really, Erica, you haven't seen him in a while. Isn't he like so calmer?
He seems so much like lighter and happier.
Yes, and Corinne, my friend, who has been on the show a couple times, you train her son, when she saw you, because she met you a long time ago at the wedding of Sari, she's like, he's so light, he's so happy, he's so positive, besides the fact that you got rid of me. No, really. What did you do to work on yourself to get to where you are?
You know what? I do believe in self-development. And I think from the point of us having our daughter Ashley, it changed me, because the day before that I was not a father. The day she was born, I became a man. And I think that's where the process becomes, because I started working on myself. What can I be better as a man to provide for my family? And that's where the obsession of working hard comes from most men. We want to work hard because we have a responsibility. Provide for our family, provide and give them not only just love, but we want to give them material things, a home, a house, cars, everything. The white picket fence, as we always would say.
Yeah.
But I think that's the part of me channeling and understanding that I have to react differently to different situations. From the days of driving on the road and having road rage, where you want to pull over and do the things that you don't want to do, to the point of saying, if I pull over and do this person could have a gun, and I could be, my daughter could not have a father. And those little things put in the back of your head makes you want to control and not get to that level.
And that's huge for you, because I remember being 7 months pregnant with Ashley, getting out of the car on the highway because this guy had road rage so bad I couldn't even stay in the car. And now you drove up here today, you were great. Like you are totally relaxed and different. Now let's talk, we have about 5 minutes left. Exercise. Erica, you have any other input you want to say before we go on to the exercise relieving stress?
By all means, move forward.
Okay, exercise. I remember towards the end of our marriage, you were running an hour, 2 hours a day?
No, you know what? I have a unique approach to exercise, and it's one of these things that I'm bringing on to the, online. It's a new concept that, I won't say there's any copycats out there that are doing this. I think the biggest thing, having the personal training background, is trainers live for monthly payments off of a client. And for me, the faster you deliver results to that client, the faster the client is happy, and that will give you referrals. So for me, my exercise program is built on fast results with less amount of time for the business working class people. The people who want to get in, get out, and not spend hours in the gym to have that perfect body. And I've trained, I can say since I've been doing this, thousands of people and have seen successful results.
Yeah. And as far as stress relief, exercise is so great for that.
Oh, it's one of the best things. And the endorphins that you get from it, I think is one of the biggest, highs, as they would say. But, it's a part of self-achievement. You go to the gym, when you go home from the gym, you never feel bad. You feel so happy that you've exercised. You worked on yourself, something that, God's giving you a body, a tool, and you get a chance to not abuse it, but actually use it and make your life live long.
Transform your life. So give out your information if people want to get in touch with you for marketing, for fitness, for where can they get in touch with you?
The best way to get in contact with me is just going to my my personal business page. It's mattwhiteterra.com. That's MattWoityra. There will be a link on lisadwoskin.com site too, so you can, make it easy to link over, because that last name is kind of hard to, spell.
Freddie.
Yes,
My
it's very
name
hard to
used to
spell.
be Lisa Dwoskin Whitera. Can you imagine spelling all that?
No, I could tell you, I saw disaster written all over that.
Okay, Erica,
Yes,
give
ma'am.
out information about you if people, and Erica, you could give a consultation over the phone
Absolutely.
for 5 minutes, or about family law, about divorce. She's
absolutely.
awesome. She's kind. She's patient. How do they reach you?
You can reach me my office is 954-380-6000 or on broughtonlaw.com. And are you putting a link to my website?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah,
All right,
for sure.
yeah.
And then
And
we'll
where,
have
and where are you located?
I'm in Deerfield Beach.
And we'll have a link to the show so people could watch it and hear it. Okay, so we're going to get to wrap up in a couple minutes, but Matt, give some advice to the viewers and listeners, mainly, I guess, men and women. How could they do it? What's important? How could you get into their heart to make them realize, think about their kids first, and don't be so stupid, I'm sorry to say, but...
I think with, all the years of working with different clientele and seeing things, it comes down to your why. Your why is the most important thing. And it comes in business, it comes in your fitness career, and it comes with your family. Why did you have kids? And do you want your kids a role model after you? You're the biggest role model, and I think that's what your kid's going to instill in for the rest of your life.
That I love. A role model, of course. Parents out there, do you want your kids to look at you and do what you're doing to their children and their children? Yeah, that's beautiful. Perfectly said. And you, Erica, what's your advice to people listening
Take
as a lawyer?
Well, no, take a moment before you say anything, before you file anything nasty in court documents. Remember, it's public record. And think about the best interest of the kids, not what's in your best interest, but what's going to actually benefit your kids in the long haul, and that's going to be to have a nurturing, loving relationship with your spouse.
For sure. And this brings up what you always say. You always want to leave a legacy for your kids. Everything you do, all the jobs, your hard work, you sleep like 2-3 hours a night sometimes. Everything you do is for your kids, and it's true. That's what we need to do. Think of our kids first and foremost. Any last words, you two?
No, I just want to say this show is, has touched probably many people that are listening, and I think that's the thing. A lot of people go through divorce, and the options are there. Try to take the least option of divorcing and try to work it through. I think that's the hardest thing that people are. We're stubborn. We don't want to try to make it work. But if you have to divorce, make it amicably. Don't argue. Be nice. I think that's the biggest thing. You're going to see this person for the rest of your life, especially if you have kids.
For sure. And remember, transform your life from the inside out. It's not just about looking good, it's about feeling good on the inside. Love yourself, take care of yourself, meditate, journal, read books, metamorphosize on lisadwoskin.com, exercise, hire a trainer, Matthew Whitera, Lisa Dwoskin. Get a divorce lawyer if you need one. Thank you so much. Thank you to all my sponsors. Thank you, Matt, for coming. Thank you, Erica.
my
Thank you
pleasure.
again
Thank you,
for two beautiful kids. Thank you, Freddie. We love you all. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning in today and starting your very own journey through transformation. Don't wait to get the perfect weight, the perfect mate, or the perfect job to become happy. Be happy today. Lisa will continue to help guide you weekly to become more mindful and to live in the now. Feed your body healthy and nutritious foods. Get your body moving. And feed your mind with positive affirmations. With a positive mind, your body will react accordingly. Be here next Sunday or visit her website.